What's up, fight fans? This is Kurtaville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko wants to clear his name, okay? Apparently, Lomachenko is a guy that he was misunderstood in his last interview, where he was understood that he thought that the judges were all bribed, okay? That it was a robbery and that the scorecards weren't right. Now, part of that was true, what he said. The scorecards weren't right. I mean, I agree with that. But this is what he said. He said, I didn't say the judges were bribed. I said that they were not being objective and they were being biased. They were not being objective, in my personal opinion. After I saw the scorecards, I knew the judges were against me, said Lomachenko, translated through his manager. Okay, he said, I cannot judge the judges and give them any scores, but the way I fought and the way I felt during the fight, I didn't feel I lost the fight. I had to watch the fight, then I was going to give my opinion. The night I reviewed my fight, I counted all of the punches thrown. I watched the fight many times in slow motion. I counted every time he touched me. He touched me 150 times. CompuBox states that it was 183 punches. CompuBox stats showed he threw 659 punches. I watched and counted 150 punches. CompuBox was off too. He touched my body with his glove, and he did not hit me with hard punches. Lomachenko was not exactly Lomachenko in the first half of the fight. Part of that to do with Lopez offsetting Lomachenko, but part was Lomachenko himself. He admitted, in fact, that Lomachenko underwent surgery on his right shoulder on October 19th. In Los Angeles, Lomachenko, 14-2-10, said that he injured his right rotator cuff, and he said he felt a painful pinching sensation every time he threw a right, particularly when he threw the right hook, straight right and right uppercut in the first 6 rounds, according to CompuBox. Lomachenko landed 25 out of 56, and through 7, it was 31 of 78. In the last 5 rounds, he landed 110 of 220 punches thrown. Lomachenko's 29 connects in the 11th round were more than what he landed in the 6th round combined. So it shows he was certainly coming on. There was something clearly different about Lomachenko now that may have had to do with Lopez, and it may have something to do with his rotator cuff, okay? He said in the beginning of the fight, I was worried about my shoulder because I knew I had a problem. Okay. He said, I said to myself, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. If my shoulder's going to give out, it's going to give out. And if I couldn't continue, it took a little time, and I paused in the 3rd and 4th rounds. After that, I started banging. I can tell you which rounds I won and which rounds he won. I see it at least a draw. But if you want to count punch to punch, I can say I won the fight by 1 round, okay? And he says this, because I'm not going to read all this. This is very lengthy. He says that if Lopez says that he can beat me 100 times, he would win 100 times, then prove it, Lomachenko said. If he thinks he's a real champion by this fight, which he just got lucky, then fight me again. Lopez probably watched the fight the next day, and they understood that they got lucky, and their hand was raised that night. My shoulder feels good. I'm in rehab, and I'm not going to sit around. I'm not a couch potato, as he laughs, and I'm willing to wait for Santa Claus to come for the kids from the real Santa Claus to come for the kids from Siberia. That is that. Now, let me counterpunch. The judge, the scorecards were off. Okay. He said they weren't bribed, but he said they were definitely biased. And I think, honestly, it's all the same to me. It's all the same to me because I feel that if you're biased, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be a judge. You shouldn't be scoring against a person. But, I mean, this type of stuff happens. But most of the time, they're biased due to bribery. So I don't really see any difference on bribery or not bribery. If you're biased, you're just biased. You don't see anything. You don't see what you're supposed to see the right way. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's trying to be less controversial and trying to get slack off of that. So he explained how the CompuBox was off. And I'm glad that he actually broke down the fight himself. Because a lot of people don't do that. They just say, oh, it's bullshit, it's this, that, and they don't have any logical reasoning behind it. At least Loma does have a case to present like he presented in this interview. So you got to give him that. However, he did take a long time to throw punches the way he should have thrown them in the first. My counterpunch to Lomachenko is this. Lomachenko, in any fight moving forward, you should never start any fight. First of all, you shouldn't enter any fight if you got a right shoulder problem anyway. You should have just called the fight off. And I know the coronavirus. I know we wanted to see it. And I know that particular pandemic has stopped a lot of fights, which it already was canceled twice or postponed twice. And I get that, along like it's done other fights with other fighters. So I get all that. But you shouldn't go in there half-cocked. You know, and it would be different, like, you know, he does have a poker face, so what is he supposed to do to convince the people that he is hurt? Because people would think that that was just some bullshit, too. Just like people thought that the right rotator cuff was some bullshit. I mean, let's just be real. He's damned if he does, he's damned if he do. You know, he's damned if he does, and if he's damned if he don't, right? So, I think he should always fight every fight like it's his last one. Because someone like Lomachenko, if you beat someone like Lomachenko, who said you got to fight him again? Look at Lopez right now. You know, there's some problems with him not trying to. So, you know, I think it's one of those situations where, you know, Lomachenko is a hot property. He was the franchise champion, and a lot of people thought that, you know, being the franchise champion gave him a leniency and leverage over other people. And that's, you know, that's a whole different problem, right, by itself, okay, which it is. But when you beat someone like Lomachenko, he's getting older. He can't lose. You know what I'm saying? He cannot lose. And I do agree with Lomachenko with this though. If Lopez says, I will beat him 100 times, you know, if I fought him 100 times, I'll beat him 100 times. We'll fight him again. I've always said that. Because a lot of people who can have a off night, right? And I know that if Lopez Jr. is really honest about himself, he should understand that people will think that he got lucky. Which I don't think he got lucky. I think he went in there with a game plan. I think he executed that game plan. But did he do anything special? No, he did not. He did not do anything special. I think what he did what he had to do. That fight was a lot closer than the judges had it. You know, and I think because of that reason, if the judges were biased, if they were bribed, if they were compromised, if they weren't right, that fight should be done again. And if he's not fighting anyone worth a shit at 135, right? A Haney, a Garcia, or a Tank Day. If he's not fighting these dudes, he needs to fight Loma again. Let's start the saga. Let's get the money. He can ask for more money now. It makes perfect sense. If he gets that Lomachenko fight, he's going to get more money, right? Like Lomachenko got more money than him. He's going to get another payday. And if he can beat him, he can pull a Deontay Wilder and fight him again and beat him again, right? So I would love to see that. Why not? What's wrong with that? Let's bring it in. Let's bring it home. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Vasily Lomachenko wanting to clear his name about what he said in his first interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Oh, also, Lomachenko, I almost forgot this. Lomachenko said that the punches that Lopez landed or thrown and landed weren't even really hard shots. Just food for thought. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.